this is your first time purchasing a Trimble subscription product, you'll receive an email from the Trimble Identity team after the product was assigned by your local building point dealer to go ahead and create your Trimble ID to do that. So by following the link in the email, you can jump right to the screen where you'll be prompted to choose the email that you would like to use as your Trimble ID that will ultimately manage and assign your licenses. Each user that's assigned a license will also complete this product, just so that they're in fact registered and able to use the different Trimble subscription products that your company might use. It is important that when you complete this process, you have access to this email that you intend to use as the license manager, because there will be a verification code set. Once that's done, it's a pretty straightforward process to sign into the license manager. Once you've finished creating your TID, the system will actually route you directly to the license manager. If you already have a TID, you can follow the link in the email you received instead to the license manager tool. For a new subscription product, before we can do any assigning, we'll need to make sure we accept the terms. This will happen for each unique product that was purchased. So I'll take care of this by just simply clicking accept terms. We'll let that process complete. And the next step will be to then activate that license. So there's 2 steps to take care of before we can actually assign this to any user. So where it had said accept terms, now it says activate. And once I do that, my 1 month or 12-month term has begun. This product was assigned directly to me as I was the initial purchaser. If this instead needed to go to a different user, I can remove that. I can remove, in this example, myself. And we can use now this drop down if we've created any users ahead of time. So I might create one just for this example. Got another simple TID we can use. So now that licensing example exists in my system, it'll be part of my dropdown, but I do want to show that there's a difference between a user, and I've got the ability to grant full administrator access. If I do this user, so this separate email, will have access to the license manager tool to act on my behalf of all licenses I own and to assign, recall licenses. We'd recommend probably having at least one additional admin in your company, just to back up when the initial license manager is away. But I'd probably limit how many users I give full access to do this. So we'll take that away from this user in this example. And now going back to my licenses, I've got the ability to just grab this user from the drop-down menu. I'll show how we can also just type this in if we didn't take the step and go through the user tool. But from an existing user, myself again, or that user I just added, or we can assign a new user if we didn't go over to the user tab. Really, the user tab is ideal if we've got, permissions we'll be managing. But if we don't see those changing, this workflow might for some be a little faster, where we can just, take a user that didn't exist in the system, and now they'll be assigned this subscription product.